Hey guys, in this video, I'm going to try to convince you that Wilderness Slayer is the best way to train Slayer, and you should immediately go to your homegirl, Cristelia, for a Slayer task. Cristelia is located in Edgeville, just south of the Wilderness Ditch and just left of the Grand Exchange. She does not require you to have any certain combat level to receive a task, like many other Slayer Masters do, and she also rewards the most Slayer points per task at 25 per, and also gives out the biggest bonuses. I'll pop up a table of the tier list now. But you should be a little bit weary because she does not look at your combat level when assigning tasks, so you could get something that you are not ready to attack yet. Another huge bonus for doing Wilderness Slayer is that you get Laren's keys as drops from monsters in the wilderness. The Laren's keys are used to open up the Laren's big chest and the Laren's small chest, but you can also exchange the keys on the Grand Exchange. At the time of this video, they run about 150k, which is a really nice profit boost when you're doing your tasks. On average, you could probably expect around 1 per task, but the rarity is based on the combat level of the monster you're attacking. There's a few rewards that I recommend unlocking to make your tasks a little bit more profitable. I have Like a Boss, which will allow Cristelia to assign you bosses, bigger and badder, for the superior monsters. And then also I have Revenants Extended, because that is one of the most profitable tasks you could be assigned from Cristelia. Speaking of tasks, let's talk about some of my favorite and least favorite tasks. So I really love Revs, obviously. They're just a huge moneymaker. And I also really love bears and spiders. It might seem kind of random, but with a bear's task, you can kill Artio, and with the spider's task, you can kill Spindle. And those are the demi-bosses of the wilderness bosses. They're way easier to kill than the full-sized bosses, but their profits are really not that much less. And also now with the requirement to complete the medium wilderness diaries, they're a lot more accessible to people, and you don't have to fight with bots to get a spot in the caves. I also really love getting tasks in the Wilderness Slayer Cave, which is just east, a little bit northeast of the Ferox Enclave. And I like it so much because it is multi, which does make it a lot more risky. I'm not going to lie, there's a lot of PKers in here and teams, but you can use dwarf cannons, which makes your tasks super quick. Most tasks can be done in 5 to 10 minutes. And in addition to that, they have a separate drop table to boost your profits even more. On top of the Laren's keys, you'll get a bunch of food drops, a bunch of scroll drops, a bunch of potion drops, and you'll just make a bank in a really short amount of time. Some of my least favorite tasks are anything in the God War Slayer Cave, and that's because there's so many different kinds of monsters down there, and they're all spread out so much that you will try to kill the monster that you're assigned to do, and then you'll be attacked by so many other different kinds of monsters. Plus you have to bring the God Wars gear to make sure that doesn't happen, but they're just not clustered enough to make these tasks quick, and usually the drops aren't that great either. I also dislike anything with high hit points, bad drops. So a few examples of that would be Black Knights, Ents, Magic Axes. Also, when they're located really deep in the wilderness and there's not that much of a reward, not too much of an incentive to go, I usually skip those tasks. So what do I usually wear when I'm out in the wilderness? Well, usually I don't try to bring too much risk. So usually you could find me in Dragonhide just because it gives me that extra protection against PKers and them catching that teleblock. So usually I'm always in Dragonhide, and usually, you know, Slayer Helm, Wilderness Weapon, most of the time Webweaver Bow when I'm doing the boss tasks. When I'm in the Rev Caves, I usually skull up, so I don't bring the Wilderness Weapon or the Slayer Helm. I just bring Magic Shortbow or Rune Crossbow. And then you'll want a way to get out quickly. So if you complete Monkey Madness 2, perfect, bring your Royal Seed Pod. If not, there's a trick where you can also get a one-click teleport in level 30 Wilderness. So you could put on the Glory or Ring of Wealth. Right now you'd have to right click, but if you just use shift right click, you could swap your left click to, say, Edgeville, and then you could immediately go to Edgeville without having to right click. So it'll save you some time. It'll definitely save you a few times from PKers. I recommend that if you do not have the Royal Seed Pod for Monkey Madness 2. I also recommend bringing a looting bag to most of your tasks. If you die and you lose it, the easiest way that I found to get one back is just going a little bit north of the Ferox Enclave, and there's a bunch of level 1 rats, and drop rate's about 1 in 15, so it shouldn't take you too long, and they spawn right around this tree area. Alright, I hope I was convincing enough to make you switch over to Wilderness Slayer. I think it's extremely profitable and a lot more enjoyable than regular Slayer. I think I make around $1 mil per task with the Lair and Keys. It's really quite incredible. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you liked it, please subscribe, and I've been streaming some more, so please follow me over on Twitch. The link will be in the description. Comment if you have any questions, and we will be ready to answer. Have a good one.